Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, welcome, happy Tuesday. We obviously had the video yesterday to make up for the lack of a video on Sunday. So it'll be the first time we ever have videos back to back. I think that we would be able to do maybe 5 videos a week if I got to do this for a job, maybe even more. So what I wanted to say is, if you have not subscribed, please do that. And then regardless, anybody that sees this, please like this video. And then I will have one more thing to ask from you. My unboxing for my reverse retro jersey is at like 914 views. We're 86 views away from 1,000. If you haven't watched that yet, please go watch it and give it a like. And again, like I said, if you haven't subscribed and you want to have some good hockey content that's consistent, you can subscribe to me. And I'll put out 3 videos a week as of now. But, you know, if this gains some traction and we're able to get some money off of it, I'll be able to put out more videos during the week. Now, we're going to continue on in our series, and we're probably going to do a few extras over the course of the next few weeks in order to try to get it done on time, of the previews for the NHL teams, 3 questions for a team. And today we have the Detroit Red Wings. If I'm going to be transparent here, I'm going to say that I wasn't expecting to have a lot to talk about for the Red Wings, but I ended up having 3 full pages, which is more than my usual amount for my notes. So, now that that's said, let's get into the first question. The first question is, should we expect Anthony Mantha to progress after last season? Mantha is one of the few bright spots in Detroit, and it looked like last year was a major year for his development. Prior to last season, Mantha's career stats were 68 goals, 67 assists, 135 points, and 217 games played, good for .62 points per game. Then you had last year's stats where he had 16 goals, 22 assists, 38 points in 43 games played, good for .88 points per game. Now, the numbers before last year were nothing to scoff at, because Mantha has been stuck on a Detroit team, that really hasn't been good for 4 years in a row now. But last year was really promising to see. Obviously, he has been on a team that struggled tremendously, especially last year was brutal. If you're a Red Wings fan, it was just really hard to watch. But for somebody to be able to average almost a point per game for a team that's the worst team in the league, that was really good. I really liked what I saw from Mantha. I'm not going to say that I watched a ton of Red Wings games, but when I did, I was impressed with what I saw. Mantha just signed a 2-year, $22.8 million deal, so luckily they won't have to worry about his future for the next few years, and to be completely honest, they got him on a good deal. That is a win for Detroit to get him on that kind of a contract. Now, if Mantha could repeat his success from last season, then Detroit's top line would be pretty lethal, with Bertuzzi and Larkin making up the top line for forwards. Bertuzzi provides 20-plus goals a year, and even though Larkin dropped off a little bit last year, I do think he should be able to score 30 goals this season in his prime. As for Mantha, I think it would be okay for him to chip in more offensively and sacrifice some of his defensive game if that's what the Red Wings need. That's the beauty of it, though. Mantha's a skilled two-way player that has the capability of doing what needs to be done on both ends. They can rely on him on both ends of the ice. There's not really a lot of that for Detroit right now. There's not really a lot of relying on players on one end of the ice, let alone two, but Mantha's a guy that can play both ways. So I think that if they need to sacrifice some of that defensive value from Mantha to be able to have him average a point per game, or whatever they need in order to get this team more wins, they might have to do that. But that's the thing, Mantha can do whatever they need. Now, the second question is, will this team be better than last season? I don't want to, lie to you and say that this team's going to be a playoff team or anything like that. It's no secret that this team was the worst team in the league last year by far, in my opinion. And while I do think that there's still going to be a bottom feeder in this year in this league, they should be better than last year. Excuse me, I have some weird header that popped up. There we go. Regardless of what division they played in, normal or realigned, I do think that they would have probably been contending with Ottawa for the worst spot, but I don't think that surprises many people. I think really what should happen is they should use last season as a measuring stick to see how far they've come, because I don't think they'll be as bad this year. The wins may not reflect the season, but I do think probably goals for and goals against will probably tell a more accurate story. I think they should be more competitive in that regards. Anytime you're on a bad team, you have to find a way to compare yourself to a previous version of yourself or your team. If you're the worst, because without those measurements, you become stagnant. I wrestled in high school. I was very bad my freshman year. The team that I was on was pretty bad as well, and we progressed. Sophomore year, we were not nearly as bad. My freshman year, I think we were 8th in our conference. My sophomore year, we were 7th, and then I think my junior year, we were 4th. I ended up doing pretty well in there. I ended up not wrestling my senior year because of some injuries, but you have to find ways, to compare yourself to previous versions of yourself, because when you're at the bottom, it can become really easy to be stagnant. And one of the big reasons I do think that they'll be better is Steve Yzerman has made some good moves that are, under the radar type moves. Thomas Greiss, a 2-year, $7.2 million deal. The past 2 years, he's got a 39, 23, and 6 record, a 2.47 goals against average, 5 shutouts, a 921 save percentage. It's a good deal for an older goalie that's put up good numbers on a defensively sound team. Troy Stetcher, they got him out of Vancouver, 2-year, $3.4 million deal. It's a good signing. It's cheap. Troy is also 26, so he could be part of the future, and he provides a positive impact for both ends of the ice. I was shocked we didn't try to keep Troy more for the Canucks, but it is what it is, I guess. Detroit got a good young defenseman on the cheap end. Then you have a very fun player, his name to say, Vladislav Namestnikov, 2-year, $4 million deal. This guy just needs a home, in my opinion. He's been thrown around a lot lately, and he's shown that he can have a positive impact for teams. There has been a 20-goal season in his career. I believe he's had a 17-goal season as well last year. A 20-goal season from him would be huge. Now, the biggest name that Yzerman's added, it's not exactly like he's going to play like he did back, 10 years ago, but Bobby Ryan. Signed him to a 1-year, $1 million deal. That's pretty effective. Bobby Ryan has 254 goals in his career and was the biggest name of the Yzerman signings. Bobby obviously has had issues with alcohol. He's struggled with alcohol addiction. So hopefully maybe the lack of pressure in Detroit could help him recover, focus more on the game. A 20-goal season for Bobby would be amazing, and I think it'd really help him and the team out. Also, if you hear a scraping sound, we're supposed to get some snow today, so they're putting out salt on the pavement because it's supposed to be like snow and ice, so I apologize for that. And then you have the John Merrill signing a 1-year, $925,000 deal. This isn't a sexy deal by any means, but it was a good move by Steve, as over the past 3 years, Merrill's production has been worth $1.4 million, $4.1 million, and $2.7 million. He won't provide you a ton of points, but he can play well 5-on-5, and he can play the PK. Now, obviously, you have... I'm not going to say I watched a lot of Merrill's games because he, played in Vegas, and I'm not going to say that I watched him strenuously or anything like that, but, that's not a bad move by any means. Now, the third and final question, will Jeff Blashill be the head coach after next season? Jeff took the role of the Red Wings head coaching position in the 2015-16 season, and let's just say things already were not in his favor. Detroit was stuck in a spot where they had a 24-year playoff streak going into that year, and the fans wanted to keep the good times rolling. The only problem with that is the team was getting old, and there was already a lack of talent where players were getting older. They were handing out some bad contracts. Blashill was able to get them to the playoffs his first year with 93 points, but they were knocked out in the first round in 5 games by Tampa Bay. While the Red Wings haven't been in the hunt for 4 years now, I couldn't see them firing him without giving him a chance with the multitude of prospects they've got coming up. Really, at the end of the day, it seems like Yzerman has got a pretty good feeling about Blashill, and it seems like he's even said before, every year before Yzerman was there, and even that year, they were moving pieces out to get prospects. So I think that he's going to be a little bit more patient. I think he maybe could give him a year or two with the prospects. I don't know if Blashill's a good coach because really he hasn't had a lot of talent to work with any of these years. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Again, please like and subscribe. Everybody stay safe. I will see you Thursday. Have a great day and stay safe from COVID. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.